is a platform that you incorporate where you are going to, the companies will be there, because you have to select a company that you think up and going for your whatever the product or whatever that you want to do. In this case, you must go there, select the company if you transact business with that particular company. So you start from that side before you progress. You understand? So it is important that you bring that particular, because they are they be in a position to select the one that is going to pay me well. I hope you understand it.
Thank you very much. You didn't show us the type of plastics. What type of plastics is it? Or you must select the type of plastics that you are going to deal with. Are they bottles? Are they sachets? Are they, what are they?
All plastics.
So it should be there. I should be able to select. Yeah, you should be able to select. And then secondly, in your work, you didn't show us the volume of plastic waste generated in the country. It's very important.
In the PowerPoint presentation,
I didn't.
840,000 tons.
Well, okay. Then type of plastic waste generated, methods of disposal in your work. And then again, you didn't show other sources of data.
We showed one in the presentation, the PowerPoint presentation. We first showed one. That was where we got the 840 tons of plastic being generated.
From which source did you get the information? Look on it. Click on the first. Okay, whilst you are looking for, what is the name of the product?
It's called demand-based app.
It's called what?
Demand-based app.
And where is it? In the, what you showed. Did we see the name of the product? We didn't see it. No, in the app itself, not on your PowerPoint. You are not dealing with the PowerPoint. So your app doesn't have the name. Okay. All right. So in finishing up your, then you have to look at this. Other sources of data.
So it's World Economic Forum. That's where we got the data. 840,000 tons of plastic waste.
And then which other one again?
And the Stats Bank. That's the main one that is used.
So now we know it. So other sources.
Data source. From the Stats Bank, the data sources, Ghana Living Standard Survey, 2017.
Have not been updated.
All right. Thank you very much, Start Squad. Let's give it up to them. All right. So the next team on the list is Team Mystical. Team Mystical. Let's give it up to Team Mystical as they present.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are Team Mystical, and with the SDGs, the Ghana Statistical Service provided us, we took SDG number 8, SDG number 4, and SDG number 1. And the main focus was on SDG number 4. So we gathered data on education population, that's education attainment on tertiary level, and we use polytechnics, which is technical universities as we speak now. And this is a statistics for the next 3 years, looking at all localities, urban areas and rural areas. So these are the people enrolling in education right now. And our next data was unemployment rates. The unemployment rate, because as you and I know, we are students, most of us are students, and very soon we will be leaving our schools for the job market. And we are looking at a trend of unemployment. And with this data from the Ghana Statistical Service on Ghana Living Standard, we found out that the unemployment rate of the youth is around 20%. That's the youth. The age gap is between 15 and 35 years. And the data set was retrieved from 2022 first quarter to 2023 third quarter. And then our next data was retrieved from contributions to multidimensional poverty. So with this data, I and my team came up with an idea. And this idea is an app. But for the sake of time, I want us to see a video of what our app does, and then we'll move on to the app.
Tailored training programs for trainees. This app harnesses local data on education and workforce needs, ensuring that participants receive the skills most relevant to the job market. By connecting education with employment, this initiative empowers individuals to improve their lives and contribute positively to their communities.
So with this app, the app we created is a very easy interface and a friendly interface app. It wouldn't take an illiterate more than a second to navigate our app. So if you go to our web page, which is the app, it's a web app. If you go there, we have popular courses. These popular courses include, it's not only on hard skill, we have soft skill as well. Please show the popular courses. We have popular courses on event planner, sound engineering. We have basketry, e-commerce, and these are courses you can take. It's more of an illustration. Please, can you play a video? Let's see how it works.
Six businesses with the lowest failure rate associated with this is all backed by data. Because I think it's valid to be worried about having a business that fails. I mean, according to the U.S.
that's the essence of the app. Our app is also equipped with features which will link you to job opportunities. So on our webpage, we have services where you can find dashboard for job opportunities. You fill the form, but this is a page for industries to upload their job links, and then we have funding. Some of the skills are hard skills and others are soft skills. So if you get a skill where you don't have a job on the market and you want funding, this app also has a place for funding where you can fill in your project and your ambition. Then we act as a guarantor to secure a loan for you. So with this, our app is going to bridge the gap between industry and employment and the skill set, because we found that there are training deficits, and this app is going to help curb training deficits. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Team Mystical. The floor is open. Let's start with our director.
Team Mystica. Can you go to your first line? Yes. The unemployment rate. The source of data is wrong. Because I know 2021 Ghana Living Standard Survey does not exist. The only quarterly data we have there is from the annual household income and expenditure survey, which is quarterly. So your data is correct, but the source is wrong. The source of the data is not GLS. Yes. Why did you change? And it's not even 2021.
Yesterday you said why you changing GLS? Mystical.
Editing, and then we got confused somewhere along the line. Then go to the next slide. This also you took it from the multi-dimensional poverty. The source is not multi-dimensional poverty. Contributors to multi-dimensional poverty is what? Employment. So what is the linkage between employment?
Yes, if the unemployment. Once there is employment here, it means employment contributes 32.6%. This isn't employment, the people that are employed. This is as a result of unemployment. The data we came up with, because we fed it with the World Bank data, which estimated that Ghana is having about 40%.
So is it employment?
The data we took was on employment on Ghana Statistical Service, but we were looking at unemployment from the World Bank, their projections.
From this graph, we are seeing that employment contributes to the reduction of poverty. So your solution is trying to get more unemployed people to be employed so that their poverty levels will be. I didn't see get the linkage between that and then the contributors to multi-dimensional poverty. This employment reduces poverty. So you are tackling unemployment so that a lot of people will be employed, then their poverty levels will be reduced. That's a linkage between why you chose SDG 1 and then what 4. The linkage is still not coming up. Thank you. And then check your source of data too is not correct.
Thank you. Team Mystical. Please, what is the problem your app is meant to solve, and how does it solve it?
So if you close to our app. And as the video indicated earlier, the problem is that there is training deficit, mismatch of talent, skills. So our education system now, people go to school and then the source of the problem. The source of the problem is as a result of the unemployment rate. And then we use the data to find out that although there is education in the country, the skills are mismatched. So you find more people being unemployed. As the saying goes, you see people now they say we have completed tertiary education, but there is no job on the market for us. So that was what motivated our problem statement. And we created the app based on that.
Let me ask a follow-up. Is there any evidence to suggest that there's still mismatch?
Please play the video. Right now, we didn't compile data on that because we are focused on the solutions more than the problem. We stated the problem with the solution.
All right, but you need the data in order to establish the problem. You need the data to establish the problem. Other than that, you are assuming there is a problem. And so the supposed solution maybe it's not a solution to anything at all. And so we need to know the source other than that, because that is a critical, we have something called critical assumption in research. And if the legs of your critical assumptions are broken, everything collapses. So the reference on that source of mismatch has to be provided in order for everything to stand.
And one of the main criteria we based on to come up with this solution was the unemployment rate. The unemployment rate, that was where we picked our main source of data.
There's unemployment rate, and you are saying that the solution is by filling in the mismatch gap. So you have to prove that there is a mismatch gap.
Okay.
Can you go back to your app? What actually is the app going to solve?
So the app is going to give training and skills to people who enroll on it, and it's also going to bring on board tutors who are willing to mentor.
So what kind of training is your app going to give?
It's not only on hard skills. We have both hard skills and soft skills. Such as coding, and then when you come to handiwork, craftsmanship, we have something on basketry, pastry, and then when you come to technological aspect, we have video editing.
Okay, wait. Don't you think all these things that you are talking about are being taught in the technical universities, but still there is unemployment?
Well, our app is bridging the gap between industry and academia. It's bridging that's why we are having services. So after enrolling on these platforms, we have certifications. You will take an exam and then you'll be certified. And this certification is going to serve as a guarantor for you.
Hold on. You complete HN, you are certificated. You go for attachment, you are given certificate. Still, there is unemployment. And you think your app, this app, will solve it. How will it solve it?
We are giving the main purpose of the app is to give everything to you at your convenience. It's free, completely free. Completely free, because looking at our education system now, You can't enroll in a university without paying fees.
So which part of your app will indicate that these are the businesses or firms or companies that when I go there, I can log on to the various companies and I apply for a job?
Right now, it's a development stage app. So, as we stated in our conclusion, we say that all ideas are welcome on board. So the app is still open and welcome for ideas.
I think you don't understand me. You see, the moment you begin developing an app, you think of the user, eh? And the one, if I'm going to use the app, at what destination, at what point. Now, I'm going to use the app in achieving something because I'm unemployed. So I must have some companies at my disposal that I may apply. Two, you have also indicated funding, that the owner of the app or the company is going to provide funding.
We are not going to provide funding.
So why the funding?
We said we are going to grant for people with handy work, people who want to venture into entrepreneurship. We are going to grant for them to get funding.
From where?
From financial services like banks, crowdfunding, and the likes.
Did you conduct any survey or did you gather data from the various banks to know whether they are going to accept you as a guarantor?
No, we didn't conduct that.
So that is why you need to take your time. If you want to develop something, you have a lot of areas that you have to conduct your research and then get the various. You gather data from the various, because it is not easy being a guarantor, especially in Ghana where there is default in payment. Default in payment is very high in our Ghanaian economy here. So that is why the various SMEs or small businesses are finding it difficult to get funding for their businesses. You understand? So you have to go further, find out before you will be able to. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Team Mystical. Let's give it up to them. The next team is Team Arch Data. Arch Data. So let's give it up to Team Arch Data.
Hi, Manasseh. I'm speaking on behalf of Arch Data. So the issue we are trying to address is the insecurity, food insecurity in Ghana. We are trying to meet the second SDG, that's zero hunger. So from the comprehensive food insecurity, security and vulnerability analysis 2020, we realized that 11.7% of Ghana's population face food insecurity. 18.2% of the rural areas face insecurity, and 5.5% of the urban areas face insecurity. So we wanted to see that the various agricultural scale we have in Ghana. of sorghum increased by 35%. So we now know that if we give this information to small scale farmers in Ghana, their productivity has a chance to increase. That will help in their planning process, when to plant, and then all that. So the land area measurement, the second point, is meant to complement this, where we provide um, the farmers the ability to measure the area of their farmland, and this will help them decide on like the quantity of resources that they'll be using on their farmland, say the amount of irrigation they'll need for a particular time period, or the amount of fertilizer they'll be using. Yeah. So for now, my colleague will demonstrate how this application works.
So this is our web app, and this is our landing page, our homepage, and then we implemented the logic that use this app map. We use this map to measure the area, and then with you measuring the area, the app will suggest a crop that is suitable for your land, and then how much you can invest into this land, and then how much you can get from this land within the period of you harvesting the land. So it will give you the time where you harvest the land, harvest from the land also. So let me demonstrate how it works. So I'm just zooming to a random place to put my. And well, it's I think the land area is too large for small scale farming, so it doesn't even have any specific crop that can be planted. So I will zoom it out here and then try it again. So this one is a small portion of land. I think it's less than 0. It's less than 0.01 hectare of land. So it has given us a suggestion of planting maize, and then we harvest it in 4 months. We have to invest 500 cedis into this farm, and then
Okay, so judges, any reaction on this?
Okay, so what question are you trying to address, or what specific problem are you trying to address? What question did you ask yourself for which you are offering a solution?
so actually we want to bridge the gap between small scale farmers.
Question. You have to ask yourself a question, like a research question.
So
policy.
how to improve the productivity of small scale farming in Ghana?
So how can we improve the productivity of small scale farming in Ghana?
Okay, so
That was your question.
yes.
And so what was your answer?
So we decided to create the web application, and then the information
No,
that
so your answer is we can improve the productivity of small scale farmers in Ghana by providing them with a relevant web application. That will do what?
so the web application will provide them with climate and weather information. So the farmers like have that information and they use in their planning and all that. And then it's also
Okay, so you make sure you structure how you present. So it's clear.
thank you.
So, are you going to make this app available for the farmers, and to which category of farmers?
Yeah. So since this is in the developmental stage, one of our goals is to make it more user friendly by introducing Ghanaian languages. So that's one way we want to like make it look out like the farmers, because not all of them will be able to might be able to speak the or proficient in the English language. That's one way we want to do that.
So which part of your app that you could go and then they log in and then they will be able to access?
So right now we don't have a login page actually, but we still track. We'll still be able to track because of our back end. We'll still be able to track the usage of the app. But as time goes on, we'll implement that policy to log in. But aside that, we've implemented a logic that the person selling the let's say the tools or the materials for the farming are on our page. But you are not going to buy directly from our page, but you contact these sellers from our page, and then you contact them privately, and you have your business. And then aside that, after you harvest your crop, there are sellers, institutions, individuals, market women, schools on our page that they are in demand for your product. So if
Wait,
you have
wait. We have not gotten to that. At the moment, we are thinking of those accessing your app to improve productivity. Is that not the case? Now, the app that you are developing has no component that me as a farmer can log on and then access and determine the number of acres, the number of hectares, the number of whatever that I should use to produce my maize and so on. So in this case, who is going to use the app?
the farmer, the seller, and then the buyer.
And where would they log on to?
So with this map, we are going to implement another policy that it takes your real time location. So maybe you are standing at one corner of your farm, you pick that location, you go to the other corner, you pick that location, and then to form a polygon of the corner of your to
Simply say show him where the buyer will log on, where the seller will log on, where the farmer will log on.
So we have this is the product sellers page, and then this is the product buyers page down here. So someone is in need of yam and quantity of 400 kilos, and the name
I
of the
am not interested in this. I'm interested in at the beginning where I have to know that this particular acres of land will be good for so and so produce or crop. Because we are in Ghana here, that we have people who are not more educated. Let's say I don't want to use illiterate. That when they have the land, they may not know this particular land. They look at just the texture, whether it is green, red, black, or whatever. Then they start cultivating maize. Or they go here, they say it will be good for rice, then they do it. But thankfully, you have developed an app that will help them know that this particular soil is good for maize or is good for so and so crop. Is that not what you are talking about? Now, I want to know if I will get it from Google Play Store. Then when I get there, if I download it onto my phone, how will I access it? And who is going to monitor for me?
So currently we don't have a login feature, but as time goes on, we'll improve on that.
It's not asking for a username. That's not what it's asking if he has it on his phone. If he goes to stand here, how will he know that this place that I'm standing, I can go to this? Yes. And I've not used that.
So please, we have a map. That takes your coordinates directly from your location. So you can map around your coordinates and see whether the farm is better for production. So right now, if you log in, we have a map. Okay. We have a map that you can place the coordinates to determine where you are standing and around your surroundings, where that ground will be better for production.
Which source of data is using that?
Please Google map.
You said
Google map for the
Google Map doesn't tell you the nature of the soil.
for the production.
Yeah. So maybe there's another source of data which is giving you that information about the soil and its suitability for crop production. You understand it? Okay.
So please not included that in the past.
All right.
Does your product or app work offline? There are some places where internet there's no connectivity. So will it work there? No, then
Due to our system limitation, we can't implement that now, but we will improve.
and with a web an app like this, it means with a young phone you cannot use it.
So it's a way of like introducing technology into farming. So it will if farmers find this helpful, you advise fellow farmers and then you realize that we are all like using technology in our practices.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's give it up to them. The next team to mount the stage is Bite Bandits. Bite Bandits. Let's give it up to Bite Bandits. Okay, so your time starts now.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Opticals observed.
Good afternoon.
Among the 9 hackathon teams which were given, we are presenting under the decent works and economic opportunities and quality education and access. I'm Haruna Suleiman representing the Bite Bandit. This is a data received from the Ghana Statistical Service, representing an unemployment percentage rate, of which it ranges between the ages of 15 to 24, representing a percentage of 29.7%. This is also a data we got from CTVET analysis, which shows the skill demand and the skill supply. Now, when you look at the skill demand on technical skills, we have a percentage of 80%, that is the skill demand, but then the institutions or trade personnel or citizens being provided for these field of works are only 45%. However, when you check the health sector, we have a percentage of 75%, but then the supply skill is only 45%. Far from that, when you look at general arts, we have a demand which is very diminishing, a small amount of percentage, that is only 20%, but then the supply is very high, that is about 65%. That is mismatching with the demand that the companies are requesting, that is the job market. What are the root causes of all these? This is the situation whereby students are finding it difficult to find their career path. But then we can also say that the causes or the root causes of these challenges are that one, curricular alignments. The curriculums are not well aligned with the job market demand as to the people the job market really wants them on their field. Two is transitional challenge. Graduate faces difficulties moving from the educational background to employment due to lack of skill. Employers require certain experiences from candidates, but then because they don't have the skill, it makes them to belittle themselves not having the experience. Now, from the Ghana Youth Barometer report on 2024, employment outcome by skill relevance, you could see that the 1.2% represents unemployed in relevant field, and employed but skilled unrelated is representing a percentage of 25. Unemployed is represented by 20%, and underemployed and unemployed is representing the 20%. With this data, it gave us a bold idea of finding a solution to such problem. That is using an easy way to get access to students. Because we can realize that most Ghanaians or students are using mobile internet, or the youth between the ages of 15 to 34 are with the usage of mobile app internet. Therefore, gave us the solution idea of choosing an app solution. We are creating this app to serve as a platform to connect students, schools, and employers as well. The app is going to have a feature which is going to provide online courses, workshop, or for skill development, and it's going to have a career guidance hub, and it will be available. It will be having an available customer service for 24/7 live chat.
Okay, so I'll be taking us through the app. So when you log on our mobile web app, it takes you to the home page. From there, when we go to the get started, when you click on the get started, it takes you to the career path. This is because you want to know career path or careers that will match what you want. When you go there, there are different courses, or it gives you a broad theme like computer science, business administration, healthcare, and engineering. When you click on, say, computer science, it will take you to another page where you can learn more about software development, data scientists, cybersecurity, and AI engineering. When you click on the learn more for, let's say, software engineering, it gives you a video overview of who or what a software engineer is. And then when you scroll down, it also gives you the key responsibilities and tells you things that a software engineer is supposed to, or the skills that a software engineer is supposed to have. Your time is up. Let's give it up to them. All right. Thank you very much, Bite Bandits. Let me start, colleague judges. I saw you introduce a data set on unemployment rate from GSS, and then you decided to do 15 to 24 years. I want to find out why 15 to 24 and not 15 and above. That is one side. The other thing is you getting the data from YOTA, that is youth. What is the full meaning? So Ghana Youth Barometer Report, and that provide information on skill mismatch and employment and all that. This also help us understand how it relates to your work. Then I saw you present something on ICT, internet usage. I was struggling to get a link of this particular one to your work. Can you help us understand that?
The reason why we got this statistics or this data is because we wanted to know the number of people or you who have access to internet service, so that when we bring up our solution, in fact, we wanted to bring a mobile app, but we noticed that there's 83% of people who have access to internet service, be it whether they are on a mobile phone or laptops, any smart device that's able to access the internet. That's why we brought these statistics. It gave us the information that only a few don't have access to internet. So when we bring up our web app, a lot of people will be able to access it and gain the relevant skills or information from it.
Okay, so then again, my question, because for the internet usage, the sample, if I may say, for the unemployment, you decided to choose 15 to 24. But here you are moving 15 to 34. Is it by convenience or it just
okay?
Because I'm seeing age mismatch. I hope you understand what I'm saying. No, this 15 to 34. But the problem when you are motivating the case, you say 15 to what? You
Okay,
have 15 to 35.
24.
Okay.
So we have two graphs. One is from 15 to 24, and then the other is from 15 to 35. This is to show us that it's mostly the youth or the younger ones who are struggling to get as job opportunities or who are unemployed out there.
All right, thank you very much. Colleague judges, any?
Thank you. What is new about your app?
Okay, so what is new about our app is that our app offers you a free online our app offers you free resources or information about the career path available in the country, and then it also tells you which of the skills are needed more in pursuing the career path that you want for yourself. These things are not usual in the country. There are apps that do that, but they are from outside, and our eyes is to help you sort information, like get information.
You see how you are struggling to answer the question. You are struggling to answer the question because what is free here? If I use my internet, is it free? If I use my internet to access your app, is it free?
No. Okay, but
and I don't see uniqueness in this because when you go internet, especially when there was this COVID, there were apps up there that were giving education to people. And I hope
you have to pay or subscribe.
Some of them we even access it on our television, free of charge. You understand? We had it, our children had it, free of charge.
So what makes this or our product different from what you are saying is that this one is giving the child or the student an idea of what to become in the future. Thereby, with those courses down.
I understand it perfectly. But my issue is that I am happy you brought in CTVET analysis here. CTVET is talking about the skill gap. It's not talking about you completing school and going to compete or going to look for white collar job, but rather acquiring the skill in your various universities, going out there and then establishing your own businesses, your own handiwork that will give you job. You understand? But looking at your gap, your app, you are telling us things that you are supposed to go through in order to gain opportunity or employment in the various companies or in the various institutions, which I find it difficult to accept because we are in a dispensation that our skill should be enough for us to be self-employed. How will you justify this?
Okay, on what has been presented, like the general art side, like this. You see, when students are young, they find it difficult having the idea. That is most the general one we know that people find it difficult to have a perspective as to what to become. So they end because they don't know. They end up being at certain places where they are not comfortable.
So add this one to what you are explaining. Whom are you targeting?
Students.
Which kind of students are you targeting?
Targeting students within from JHS, senior high, and even the tertiary.
JHS.
Yes.
JHS.
Yes.
And then when what?
Senior
at that time, are they fit enough to look for job?
They are not to look for job, but then it's giving them the idea as to what to become. When they see the projection as to who they want to be, they start to build up early, thereby reducing this the percentage of 65% to where they don't need much people to be employed, but rather fill the gaps of the technical side, health side, engineering, and then also the general art as well. But then it will come down somehow.
So that is why I'm saying that if you are targeting them, then know the kind of skill that they are supposed to get. Okay. It is not about what you are talking, because when you click the computer, whatever side, whatever came out there is giving you a readiness to be employed. It is not that giving you a primary kind of education that, because at that level, when they are in the GHS, the highest, the GHS 3, the highest age is 15. It's 15. So when the person is 15 years and you are talking about these things, when would that person grow and then tune the mind to be employable? So your app is not supposed to target the GHS. It's not supposed to target the SHS, but it should target the technical university, the traditional university students who are about to complete. And the skill, when they go there, they should be able to learn some. That is why I was happy about the CTVET, because the CTVET is into CBT. That when you are even in the house, the curriculum is in such a way that you learn on your own, and then when you go out there, you'll be able to establish something to earn a living. So if you are able to get that information, then you should be able to get the data there and incorporate it in your app so that the people can learn and be self-sufficient.
Okay, so what problem are you trying to solve?
You are trying to solve the problem of the high unemployment.
So what was your question?
Our question is
usually
No.
What was
your question for that? led you to look for an answer? What
The
was it? Just tell me the
unemployment-
question.
The unemployment of youth in Ghana, youth
No,
mismatch.
that's a statement. What was the question?
Our question was, why is it that there's a lot of people who are out there who are unemployed?
And what was your answer?
That is because of mismatch in the skill alignment. There is
So,
wrong skill alignment.
wrong scale or mismatch. So, what is your proof that there is mismatch? Is there any reference to that?
Yes.
What was your reference to that?
The reference is coming from the let's go with the first one. Yes. So from this graph, you can tell that a lot of people are
No. What was the reference? Is it from the CTVET publication, or is it from a World Bank publication? Is it from?
Okay. It's from the CTVET publication.
That there is a mismatch.
Yes.
And so, if that's what you are saying, so what was then the solution that you are offering?
Our solution
So there is a mismatch. So how will you cure the mismatch?
Our solution is to bring a web app that will give people the skills in this technical skills and healthcare and engineering aspect.
So that you see what you as it means you are confused about the solution you're supposed to bring. That means they've already gone through school, or they are now to go to school. But this app would help them to receive training. And when we say that, then you say no.
Yes, it will help them receive training.
It will help them receive training.
Yes.
And also get their interest on as to which career path they are.
Listen, you have to go back and look at this thing very well, because it's not very clear exactly what the app is trying to. No, it's just an advice. It's an advice. Let's go back and do that.
Let's give it up to Okay. The final team to present on the score sheet is Script Masters. Team Script Masters. Let's give it up to them. They're coming to script for us. Yes, your time starts.
Good morning, everyone. All protocols observed. Imagine a world where households are given the opportunity to turn their segregated trash into cash. We are the script masters, and we present to you the trash to cash web app. In this new world where the world order is to find sustainable development goals, every country is striving to provide sustainable development goals in their own way, be it to promote sustained inclusive employment or safe and secure sustainable cities for people to live in. With this, our country Ghana is also very much interested in this. What is the problem when it comes to waste management in Ghana? From the statistics that we pulled, from the statistics that we pulled from the population housing centers, in 2021, we realized that there is a problem, one, with waste storage. So from our graph, you can see that there are proper waste storage represented by green and improper waste storage represented by red. From the statistics that we pulled from the Stats Bank, specifically the methods of waste storage, we realized that there are various methods of waste storage, like people using the standard receptacle bins, and then people using improvised methods. The problem now became a large percent of the people had improper storage at the household level, right? And then another problem was the waste disposal methods, because from the data, you realize that a lot of people use improper waste disposal, which we have identified like burning, burying in the ground, and dumping indiscriminately. Why is this important for us to consider? Recognize that from the chart that we got, from the Zoom Lion data that we got from the environmental statistical compendium, we realize that landfills, which are where the collected data end up, have a lifespan of 15 years. And when you check the data, most of these landfills date back to 2014, which means that most of them have outlived their purpose. Why is this very worrisome for Ghana as a country? Because that means that there's estimated 60 million tons per year of generated waste that we get end up in landfills where we do not even manage them properly. From the charts that we get from the Ghana Plastic Manufacturers Association, you would realize that a huge chunk of this waste is organic waste. Why is this important? Because our landfills are no longer existed from the previous data we show you, Ghana has a problem with waste management. And so the government, since 2012, has collaborated with companies like Zoom Lion to treat this particular waste. However, waste treatment plants heavily depend on segregated waste. What this means is that for them to be able to separate the waste, organic, plastic, and whatnot, from the earlier chart we show you, a huge chunk of this is organic waste. Realize that right now, how they try to segregate that waste is when it ends up on the huge landfills and it's already decomposing, people go there and now try to separate this. This brings health risk, and this is why we bring our solution, the Trash to Cash web app. How does it solve this problem? First of all, there is a problem with waste segregation. Two main problems with waste segregation. When we pulled out data from the stats bank, we realize that a lot of people do not use the standard bin receptacle, which is the main acceptable way of segregation cards or like keeping your trash. From this app, you can request a bin. That means that you are solving the problem of people not having access to the bins, the standard bins to segregate their trash. How do you do this? They just enter their basic information and then they are able to get access to this. So he just presented how you can request a bin. What are the other functionalities? You are able to get incentives to find or segregate your trash into cash. So you can just enter the weight and then it gives you the estimated amount that you can get from it. Being that from the statistics, organic waste is a huge chunk of this, it means that you are incentivizing people to do this particular thing. Why is this very innovative? What makes it very novel? You realize that we have the related SDGs that they solve. So because we are incentivizing people to monetary value, we are solving the SDG goal, which is zero, which is about the SDG goal 1, which is about zero poverty. And then we are also talking about how sustainable cities can be built and healthy living. That is the SDG 11. People can learn more about waste management. So over here, the layman can know that there are a lot of plastics, but these are the items not to add to the plastic bin receptacle, and these are the items to add to it. Now, what is the scalability of this app? This app helps for stakeholders. That's the scalability. Stakeholders can engage the necessary people to get new data because there is a tab that shows how.
Time is up. Time is up. Time is up. Let's give that. Script masters. Thank you for the presentation. Let's go to the first chart. So something. Yeah. I was struggling to see how many regions Ghana has on the first chart. And I'm seeing 8, but 16 bars. Why? They're not showing 8, they're showing all the 16 bars. No, it's on the board. They don't need to mention. Okay, so I think it's just a lighter one. Maybe some of the region names have been squeezed out because of the font size of those, and also the space. Yes, squeezing the chart into a space that is too small. If you expand it, you see all the names. So maybe that is. Colleague judges, I don't know if you have
Well, I'm back to what exactly is the problem we are trying to solve. Because from your presentation, you mentioned several problems. One, you said improper disposal of waste. Second, you mentioned most of the waste is organic waste. Another one, you said there's a problem with waste segregation. So, what is the problem trying to solve?
So all these problems are associated.
No, what is the problem that you are not problems? Problem.
We are starting with waste segregation.
So, what is the problem?
The problem is we don't have segregated waste. All of them end up in the landfills.
So, what was your question? The question you asked yourself?
How do we include people to help in the segregation since they are the main people that form the waste?
Where did you get information that
So
people listen to the question first? The source of that information about maybe the low participation in waste segregation in Ghana. Where is that information? And what's the source?
So from the data that we pull from the methods of storage, that is waste storage over here. So when you go to the stat bank, you realize that people store their waste by putting it in the bin receptacle, the standard bin receptacle. That shows that they just dump everything there. That is improper waste, because we've explained in the next slide that there is a problem where you can't have.
Then the next question is, what is the solution you are offering?
So the solution we are offering is to have a web app that will allow people, incentivize them, and make it easy for them to segregate their waste. Because
how would the app help people to segregate their waste?
Okay, so from the statistics we showed earlier, the reason why people don't segregate waste in the first time is because one, they don't have the standard bin receptacles. That is, now we have a web app that will allow them to have the standard bin receptacles.
So wait, hold on. So it means you've introduced another question. Why is it that people do not segregate their waste?
No.
That's what you said right now.
So in simple terms, the app shows you that if you segregate your waste, you will get money. So it will motivate them to do that. And we've showed you that.
Hold on again. So what problem again are you trying to solve?
People not segregating the waste.
Fine, people not segregating their waste. Why is it that people are not segregating their waste? And then what is the answer that you came up with?
The reason why is one, they lack incentives, and two, they don't have the infrastructures like the standard receptacle, the various receptacles to separate them.
Nice. So what is the solution? Your solution should be one, we are going to incentivize them, and then two, you are going to provide the
infrastructure.
Because that's what you
exactly.
So you must address that. So how is your app going to?
So Salah, please. The first problem, incentivize.
Yeah.
Go to the part where I can sell any type of my waste, especially the organic one. You just input your weight there, and then you submit that this is what you want to submit. The app is one that has a multi-dimensional platform for collectors and those who are submitting their waste. So our target is to allow these people to reach them. So they are submitting. They are calling for collection.
Yeah, the
second one is what she was able to demonstrate within the time frame. You are able to request bins. And because we showed that these recycling plants need this waste to survive, they are going to be incentivized to provide this bin.
So you are saying because they cannot get access to the bins. Are you sure they can't get access to the bins? How do you know they can't get access to the bins?
So from the Excel chart, those who have the bins were very small.
Why?
So because the current system is that if you have the bin, you have to be paying Lion monthly to collect them for you. So our system is
so is it I can't pay for? Are the bins not on the market?
The bins are on the market.
So you have to be very careful with the English and the phrases you're using. The bins are on the market.
Yes. So simply that's what we're trying to explain. From the data, it's very specific. The only acceptable way of storage is the standard bin receptacle. That is what we got from the stats bank.
So is it on the market?
Yes.
It's on the market.
It's on the market.
So why is it that they are not using it?
So it's not accessible. This one is free. That fits into the incentive part.
What is not accessible?
The bins.
Why
Because
is it not accessible?
okay, that goes beyond things like the economic hardship. People don't focus so much on why. So now there is, if you put the data, you realize that there is emphasis on improvised receptacles. That means that instead of people going to buy bins, they'll rather take a polythene bag and pack their
You
bola
are
in it.
offering a solution now. The bins are there, but they are not using it. So you want to solve that problem. So how is it your app solving that problem?
So
Is it that they are going to get bins from free bins from a certain place?
okay. So the whole idea of this web app is to achieve the goals of the SDG. So the goal we are achieving is the SDG 11.
No, don't go around like
No.
a politician.
So the government is responsible for these things.
Yeah.
So our web app gives an access to policymakers to provide the beans for the people.
Well, there's some work you have to do there. No, it's not clear. So there's something that is a bit confusing. No, it's later you're going to address it. I hope it's clear. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's interesting. For me, where you got your data, I like the way you have cited your data. I think your data, the source, you are on point. But my problem is with the B? If I am to separate, it means if I'm to separate into about 4 categories, it means I must have 4 of the Bs. 4 of them. So it means I must go there, click 1, get 1, go again, get 1. Because you did not show me whether when I click once, I will get 4. That one, can you explain that one?
So when he click, you get all the categories. So you request for the companies have tags on the individual base.
Mm-hmm.
So when the pop down, we have a plastic waste bin, we have organic waste bin, e-waste bin, and then the glass waste bin.
So you click on all.
You can have
then
all
you
of them.
get it.
Any point in time where
let's land there. Assuming myself, madam, this man, prof, and you, we are all in the same house. Let's say house that we have is a compound house. Where in Accra here, I will not allow madam to use my bin. It means when I request for 4, madam will also request for 4. This one 4, 4, 4. Where are we going to keep this 4, 4, 4?
So the app, when you are signing up, is consideration on household. The data is largely based on household. So the number of people in the household has effect on the sizes of bins that they can have at the point in time. But most importantly, because they are now aware of the reason why they have to do these things, they will find a way, because of the economic incentive attached to it, to be able to store these things, especially when collectors are readily available on the same platform that they can come for it as and when you want them to come. So once you make the waste, you call them for them to come and then you get your money at the instance.
And your app, is it working offline?
No, it's not working offline. So as part of the scalability, it's going to be developed to a mobile app, which is more accessible. And that is for scalability.
That is what I'm saying, because the app with the mobile that you are talking about, not everywhere and not everybody is having Android.
Yes.
You understand? Not everybody having Android. And my challenge is with this segregation that you are talking about, the separation. We are in a community where, let me say, boiler, refuse that we do collectively. So why don't you make the app in such a way that when you rather collect the waste, then you have an app or you have a machine or whatever that you have developed that will will segregate at your end rather than allowing the customer or the user to be separating this?
That's what actually killed most of the recycling plant that we have. So a typical example is the one on the Polebu stretch. Because there was a heavy load of no missegregation, a lot of time those particular recycling plants have to spend a lot of like labor and resources to segregate them. So what we are doing is to have a community inclusive project that all of us are responsible for our growth. So we will incentivize them to also be a part of the journey.
So which companies are you going to work with?
So currently there is a new Mankesim plant, recycling plant. And that makes our research very relevant because we show you that now we can't use the landfills again. And it means that it is this independent treatment plants that we are going to use. So if you make the burden hard for them such that they have to invest more in technology.
You are going too far.
Okay.
You see, I asked one question, one after the other, because are you going to be the company that will be receiving and disposed to the various companies? Because I did not see such companies on your app.
Okay, so please, this is the new Mankesim recycling plant. And then
on the app.
So at this stage of the app, like we mentioned, it is between collectors and the makers of the waste. These collectors also have their session that is tied to the companies.
So where are the collectors on your app?
So that is where the scalability in.
Where are the collectors on your app?
So,
Okay. The collectors cannot be found on the app. Is that not it? Let's give it out to Script Master. Okay. All right. On behalf of myself and other judges, we want to appreciate all of you for cooperating with us and staying with us for all this process. This is just the first aspect of the program. We'll be moving down there to the auditorium where we'll have the closing ceremony. And there we are going to declare the winners of this particular local competition. And also those who will be participating in the National Hackathon, together with a lot of other activities that is going to happen there in the auditorium. So from here, we'll move straight to the auditorium, and as was indicated earlier by Dr. Usu Keja, going to aggregate the scores and rank them. The judges will come together and do that. And we'll strike averages so that at the end of the day, we know who is winning. So we can start moving on to the auditorium. So I'm not good at direction. So Peter did geography in school. So my brother. Okay, so it's just down there. Once you get down, there is a room to your right. So see you at the auditorium. And to my judges, we are grateful for your time and for your. Thank you so much.